Come on, let's keep a little optimism.
Subscribe, leave a voicemail, and share the show with a brother.
Chewie, get us out of here!
Time to abandon ship.
It's great to be in the Empire today.
Star Wars Escape Pod is the pod for you.
As the Republic's choice of podcast anywhere in the galaxy.
If you are tuning in right now, don't go anywhere. Leave a review and make it a good one.
Empire today. Empire today. I thought that was a pretty good take. Pray I don't alter my performance any further.
All right, welcome back to Star Wars Escape Pod and our third Cantina Banter. Casual Star Wars conversation, all fun, right here on Star Wars Escape Pod with your host Josh and your co-host Blake and our friend Darian on the other end of the line here. We are a little focused on San Diego Comic-Con, which just happened, just wrapped up less than a week ago, and a number of other things. We're going to be glossing over some Acolyte article here and a little bit about a video game I've been playing recently and a few other things. So, how are you all doing?
Are we live?
Yeah, we're live. We're up.
An official intro.
Welcome back.
Thanks. Chut chut. Good to be here.
Chut chut. And chut chut Darian.
Sakaigar.
Hello. So, I'm not sure what the correct response to that is.
I don't know what the translation of that one is.
It's the Mandalorian greeting.
Oh, okay.
We got to figure like a... Oh, wait. Chut chut is Huttese, isn't it?
Chut chut Huttese, yeah.
Oh, okay. I was going to say the Huttese.
Okay, I'll give you a little yub nub. I'll give you a little yub nub in response.
Nub. Give me a little nub yub.
Yub yub. Isn't that Celebration though?
Sorry?
Isn't that Celebration though?
Celebration?
It's a very excited hello.
It's a very, yeah. Yeah, we got an Ewok over here.
I love that the...
Wisties.
Wisties. I love Wisties. I love that they brought that into Battlefront 2.
I'm glad it's recanonized as much as it annoys me.
So good.
Except they didn't really make it obvious that they're supposed to be like fairy things, right?
In the well, if you've seen Ewok Adventures, it's like that's you get a good look at them and that's what they are. But yeah, if you only play the video game, it's not that obvious as to what it is. It almost looks like
in the Ewok movie.
It almost looks like they're a bunch of insects, and so they adapted it pretty well, but only when they're kind of flying around and they're doing their motion thing. But it was cool.
Like Tinkerbells.
Such a nice little cameo, like a little nod of the head to Ewok Adventures.
It was good. Yeah. They were probably also like, what do we do with the Ewoks?
Yeah. Like, what do Ewoks throw?
Rocks? Sticks?
Yeah, Wisties. What's a Wistie, George?
Well, it's these little, like, fairy things that,
It's like Tinkerbell, but
yeah,
Lucasfilm.
They stuff them in a sack, and then they throw the sack, and then they all blow out, and, ignore the crap out of you. And then people die.
From the brilliant mind of George Lucas, everyone.
Yeah, speaking of George Lucas was actually at San Diego Comic-Con this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
When is the last time we went to any con?
Well, okay.
2007?
So specifically Comic-Con, the last time he was at Comic-Con was 1976.
Okay, so the first Star Wars hadn't even come out yet?
Yeah.
Oh, man, they went there to try to get hype for the movie, right?
Yeah.
Right, they had a big panel.
So he was at the first San Diego Comic-Con 1976. It was
the first one?
That was not the first one, but that was his first and only appearance until this year. And
George, how'd it go? Never again.
Yeah, he's not a big guy on crowds. You know what I mean? Like,
no, which is fair.
Yeah, he's not big on it. But
after the movie did really well, I was like, I can't go back there. All those nerds.
I'm not going back.
They'll swarm me.
I did it to market the movie. That was it.
Didn't care.
Did it for the fans.
Before there were fans.
Before they knew they would want my movie. And then, ruin everything.
Oh, George. So what did he do there? Was he just hanging out? Did he have a panel?
Yeah. So
was he wearing plaid?
So actually, yeah, he was wearing plaid.
He's always wearing plaid. That's why we love him.
He had his trademark look about him, which is great. And
even in like if you see him in the wild, like there's that picture of him in that mall food court. He just looks exactly the same.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's one of my favorite pictures of him. I want to get that framed on my wall. Just him sitting in the McDonald's, like.
It's classic, man.
It's awesome, dude. Yeah. So Hall H panel hosted by Queen Latifah of all people, which is super random, but I guess they want to bring like Comic-Con's so Hollywood now. It's with the movies, and then there's all this extra hype. Yeah.
It went mainstream, right?
Yeah.
So it's no longer just the nerds,
and that's why he's back. Is to promote the opening of his museum, which happens next year.
He's been working on that for like 10 years.
Yeah, it's kind of been his big investment project since he sold the company to Disney. Like I think that's where a lot of money went, was towards his museum. So,
did you know the story behind that? Because it was supposed to be in L.A.
It was. It kind of moved a few times. Like the
city wouldn't give him the land to do it.
Yeah,
and so he said like to hell with it, and he went to like Chicago. They bought like a whole island or something.
And now it's is it still in Chicago? I thought.
Or did he move again?
I think it moved again, and it was like now it's like somewhere else. Anyway, here let's take. Oh, so go ahead, Darren.
I thought it was in Anaheim.
Yeah,
went back to California.
They
put it right next to the park, so we'd be like, "Screw you!"
On
throwing
the side
tomatoes over the fence.
On the side of the building, the giant building is just like, suck it. It's just like painted on the side of the building. No, it's.
It'd be funny if it was like right behind Galaxy's Edge. There's like a back door for him to go in and out.
Yeah, and on the side is written, "Star Wars was mine."
That's right.
So yeah, it actually is in Los Angeles now. It's in LA's Exposition Park. They have 11-acre campus. Extensive new green space designed by Studio MLA will embrace the museum's 300,000 square foot building, which will feature expansive galleries, 2 state-of-the-art theaters, and dedicated spaces for learning and engagement, dining, retail, and events. There's some of the craziest stuff that you would never think you would find there is there. So let's take a quick listen to this little audio clip here that they shared from the event 3 days ago.
Please welcome for the first time ever at Comic-Con, George Lucas.
This was sort of a temple to the people zone.
All right, yeah. So
who's the guy in the middle?
Guillermo del Toro.
The director.
Yeah, the director. Yeah, and then also Doug Chiang, of course. Big on design.
Oh yeah.
I heard he likes design.
If you're listening to this podcast, you know who Doug Chiang is.
Yeah. Robin loves Doug Chiang. Anytime we watch any of those behind the scenes, like right now we finally started getting around to watching Light and Magic season 2, and anytime Doug comes up, she's like, I love Doug. Like, just seems like such a good guy, and
he does seem like a very genuine good person.
Yeah, and he's like a really talented guy. He's a soft spoken character,
very humble.
Yeah, very humble guy. And I like him a lot. He seems nice. He's the kind of guy I would love to just go out to lunch with and just ask him a bunch of questions. Things about this place is you'll see Luke's X-34 land speeder, the full thing, a 1-to-1 replica of General Grievous's TSMEU 6 wheel bike, as seen in Revenge of the Sith.
This is so random, that one.
A full-scale version of Anakin Skywalker's N1 starfighter from The Phantom Menace.
That's cool.
Yeah. And the collection will also house speeder bikes from Return of the Jedi and concept art from the production of the first 6 films in the Skywalker saga.
Those 2 theaters, I assume one's going to be all original trilogy on repeat, and the other one's all prequels on repeat.
Yeah, probably. It says these pieces will be displayed as part of a collection that includes the first drawing of Flash Gordon from 1934. So I think George must have, he's a big fan of Flash Gordon. He must have acquired this drawing at some point.
That's where his first billion went.
Yeah, in bulletproof glass in his new museum. Original art for Marvel's Iron Man's debut comic cover in 1968. Illustrations from...
this is just a museum of George's stuff.
So it's not just George's stuff, but it's like, but most of it, yeah. So like a lot of it's George's stuff, but a lot of it's also housing, I think, donated pieces that are kind of given to the museum on loan, sort of thing. To
pop culture, historical things.
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of the idea of the museum is a lot of pop culture, and obviously there is a big theme around George's work in cinema, but it is called Lucas Museum of Narrative Art. So technically, anything that is in that narrative art category, it will likely be present in this museum, which is cool.
My question is, like, a lot of the costumes and props and stuff from the first 6 movies, is that owned by George to put in the museum, or is that owned by Lucasfilm?
I think it is. I think when he sold the company, I think there may have been things that were not included in the contract. So like, obviously the company itself and the rights to Star Wars and all that, the intellectual property is sort of Disney's, but at the same time, I think there's a lot of pieces that he may have just kept for himself.
So like the archives, for example, on the ranch.
Yeah, I think that's all his.
That's all his?
I think that's all his, yeah. So it's very, it's kind of ambiguous in that sense because there's also a lot of shared territory there because his company that he...
Sorry, I just realized, like, you know how it was like a bad divorce? Sometimes the breadwinner will start to like hide away money in like weird places to like get it out of like the divorce attorneys.
Yeah.
I feel like that was George with the ranch, like hiding stuff in the archives so you can like keep it after the sale.
Yeah. Stuffing stuff in there.
It's on
like
my land.
Yeah, I like this Georgia mess. Yeah, can you? Hey, Doug, can you put that in the barn?
Put that in the back room.
It's mine.
In fact, Doug Chang, you just stay there.
Yeah,
so I can keep you too.
Oh man. But yeah, it also says illustrations from the Peanuts creator Charles M. Schultz and paintings from other works from Norman Rockwell, Jack Kirby, Frida Kahlo, just to name a few. Lucas, who first began collecting art when he was in college, told the audience that part of the idea for the museum came from his affinity for buying art and his aversion to selling it.
I refuse to sell it,
Lucas told the crowd.
I'm not one of the typical high art collectors that buys and sells it off. I could never do that. It's not what I think art is.
For the last time, dear, I am not a hoarder.
Yeah, it's like, man, I can relate to that. Like anything Star Wars that I've bought, I haven't really sold. Like I've sold some 3 3/4 inch action figures and the Millennium Falcon that went with it, but I think that's it. I don't think I've sold anything else that's Star Wars in my entire life. I've only acquired.
Have you ever dumpstered something?
Dumpstered something?
Yeah, like threw it away because you had
anything Star Wars?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Do you still have your Jar Jar pop?
Maybe just some candy wrappers. No, I never had a Jar Jar pop. My mom didn't let me eat sugar.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Took my cousin like slipping me some Skittles to get my first dose.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. That was at a family barbecue.
It's like passing you drugs.
He's like, I was like away from my mom. He's like, hey Josh, want a Skittle?
Like, what is that?
Sure.
Oh man, dude, that's like The Simpsons. Because like Rod and Todd had never had candy, and then Bart Simpson like gives them like pixie sticks. Like, we're not allowed to have sugar. Like, don't worry, there's no sugar in pixie sticks.
It's just raw sugar.
It's raw sugar. It's just flavored sugar.
Oh man. Yeah, Darian, what was your exposure to candy? Did you ever have any like limitations at home?
Oh, I didn't have candy until I was like 20 something. And it was just like, I remember the first time having a Dr. Pepper, just not being able to sit still. I'm like, this is weird. I feel warm.
That's crazy, man. I was just like the drug kid then because I was just drinking. I don't remember a time where I didn't have like soda and candy and sugar and stuff.
Yeah.
I was eating it before I could actually make memories.
Yeah. I love what George said next here. So, like the enduring appeal of his Star Wars storytelling, the creator of Galaxy Far, Far Away went on to discuss the importance of art and resonance defined by personal connection.
I think it's more about the connection, an emotional connection with the work, not how much it costs or which celebrity did it or whatever. It's more of a personal thing, and I don't think it's anything that anyone can tell you. You know, if you have an emotional connection, then it's art.
So there you go. So George Lucas, everybody. George Lucas.
Thank you, Mr. Lucas.
There is over 40,000 pieces.
Oh, dang.
That
It's
will
gonna be a big building, huh?
Yeah, he's collected a lot of stuff over 50 years. So
It'll be really funny. So you know how the ranch, the house was like, the design of it was like a copy from like another director's house?
Oh, was it?
I believe so.
Maybe it was like maybe the style, maybe I guess.
Yeah. I mean, like architecture, the look of it is like so. Yeah, it's like it looks like another house. 'Cause he's like, I want one.
Yeah.
So it'd be really funny if his museum was basically just like a scaled down version of like the Louvre.
Yeah.
Just the same thing.
Yeah. Well, the story is his buddy Francis Ford.
That's what
Francis
it was.
Ford
That's him.
Coppola.
Yeah.
But I think I don't know if it was necessarily the style of the house. It was like
just a rumor.
I think it was just the idea. Is like, oh, you've got your own winery and vineyard. Like I want one of those too. Yeah. So that was
the
like
house is supposed to like look like almost the same.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it's possible.
I'll look it up.
Definitely liked the idea of having the luxuries though. That's for sure. So, what a guy.
It's just weird that somebody that is so well known for creating different universes and like genres that would just be like, just give me what Coppola's got.
Unless it respects the man's style.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah,
it's not this. This might not be it. I need to find his ranch. Right, ranch house.
Yeah. Yeah, Skywalker Ranch. The museum looks crazy, man. Like I don't know if you've seen a photo of this, but it looks like a spaceship landed in LA.
Okay, no, they look different. So I think it's just the idea.
Yeah, just the idea of having what
George's is definitely bigger.
Well, of course, you have to. Well, I mean, you have to one him. Yeah, I have to one up, right? You know.
I mean, that's how it works.
When
right?
when you have unfathomable wealth, you're gonna outdo your friends just a little bit so that they know who's in charge.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah,
I'm gonna make the exact same house as them across the street, just bigger.
Well, I think after the awful success of Megalopolis, I think Francis Ford is going to be selling his vineyard sometime down the road. Regrettably, I don't think that movie did very well, like financially.
Megalopolis?
Yeah, nobody saw it. And the one person that I knew that saw it said it was awful.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, which is too bad because yeah. Say again?
I like Adam Driver, but man, is he curse any film that he's in.
That's like...
But he was like one of the people, everyone said he was like the best part.
That's like Nick Cage, man. Like Nick Cage is like such a great part of most movies that he's in, but the movies always kind of blow.
It's like when you're at a party, the best music's Nickelback, but everyone hates Nickelback.
Yeah. But I love how he honed in. I love how he honed in on the fact that like, hey, you know, that he is Nick Cage. And then he made the movie that he made, which is like, what's that Nick Cage movie about Nick Cage?
Unbearable weight of something talent.
The unbearable weight of like, awesome talent or something like that.
It's a better word than that.
Yeah. Anyway, this movie is so good. It's Pedro Pascal, who is basically a fanboy of a fictional version of Nick Cage, who plays himself. Massive talent. That's
the unbearable weight of massive talent.
Yeah. So Nick Cage plays himself. He plays himself, but he plays himself in a world in which he is just like a total different person, right? Like he's like, you know, he's like a total dick and he's like super narcissistic. And I love it because like, you know, it's just like not what you would expect, right? And then Pedro Pascal is like playing this like fanboy who's basically just like so in love with him, right? But yeah. It was good. It was a good movie.
And it's like a trust fund child, basically.
Yeah.
Like pays him to come out to like a private island for an event.
Yeah,
that's the setup. Such a good movie.
Oh man, it was awesome. It was a fun one. So yeah, I'd like to go to this next year. I'd like to see the museum. And
what's the opening date?
I don't know if there's like an opening date like as of yet, but it's definitely next year
because it's been talked about for 10 years.
It's been a long time, man. Yeah, it's been a while. If anyone is kind of curious to know the happenings of the Lucas Museum of Narrative Art, they have a X account, in Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube account, and Facebook. So you can go and find the socials, and the handle is at Lucas Museum. So definitely go and check that out. Give them a follow, and I'm sure you'll sort of be in the loop when it comes to when they're going to open the doors. And how exciting would that be? Because when I think of museums, and I've been at a few museums, but
I've been to a museum.
There's only been one that I've been blown away by, and it was in New Zealand, and it was in Wellington. And the local museum there was fantastic. And they had an exhibit, which was the Gallipoli Museum exhibit. And they had these massive recreations of these real people that existed in that war. And they were made by Weta Workshop. And the detail was insane. It was such a good exhibit. And then on top of that, you saw these things that just marveled you. There was 6 of them throughout the exhibit. And it was kind of this narrative exhibit that you walked through, and you were kind of brought through the war, from in chronological, perspective, so to speak. And I was very impressed, and I thought, museums can be very, very interesting. They're not necessarily just what you would picture to be an art gallery in a giant room with a bunch of stuff behind glass, right? They can be super cool, and they can be really interesting. And there's no museum that is for pop culture lovers and fans of narrative art, which is another way of saying, you love movies, you love pop culture things, and I feel like George Lucas's museum is just gonna be kind of a classy version of housing some of those early roots of what has evolved into pop culture today.
As long as it doesn't turn into a Library of Alexandria situation when we just lose everything in one fire.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, you know what I mean? It's going to be a one of a kind situation where it's
cool.
Yeah.
I say a little tongue in cheek, but seems well timed. It feels like to become something in a museum, because just the number of people going to theaters is starting to dwindle so much.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Becoming a pastime thing belongs in a museum.
I mean, it's just I think George is he's got this idea that he wants to leave this. I don't know if he's ever thought about it this way, but yeah, he clearly is on a path to leaving if he hasn't already with Star Wars, he's on a path to leave a lasting legacy, and with
still think he should have carved his own face and do a side of a mountain.
Oh, maybe. I mean, it could fit up there, he would look like one of them.
Who else would you put on the mountain?
Wouldn't it be Star Wars characters and then George Lucas?
Just George Lucas, Samuel L. Jackson, Hayden Christensen, and Ewan McGregor.
No, I was going to say Kiadi Mundi.
Yeah.
Could you imagine trying to carve a Chewbacca out of there?
Can you imagine his head is that's the peak of the mountain?
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, it's the tallest part is just Kiadi Mundi.
Mommy, what's that big spire up there? That's the Mundi Peak.
Only Mundi.
The tallest Mundi in the whole world. Oh, jeez. Okay. So other stuff happened at Comic-Con. Begun the Clone Wars have with Hasbro's San Diego Comic-Con HasLab announcement, which was kind of cool. You like Black Series?
The helmets, yes.
Just in general, they're.
I'm depending on the figure.
Yeah, I should I should specify. They pretty much call everything Black Series.
That's what
now,
I mean. That's a huge. That's a very large category.
Yeah, it is. I kind of hate the fact that they call everything Black Series now, because it makes no sense. But yeah, the panel revealed a series of cool stuff. So. The Acolyte Stranger is making his Black Series debut as an action figure. This is specifically a 6-inch format. Also a Mace versus Sidious dual pack. Like, okay, look at the detail on this Ian McDermott head from the 6-inch action figure. That's crazy, right?
Oh man, giving Hot Toys a run for their money.
Like, yeah, like that's insane.
If they just do something about the seams between the joints.
Oh man, yeah. There was also a 2025 SDCC exclusive, which was a Anakin versus Obi-Wan Mustafar battle scenario pack. So they were like standing on lava on a platform with that little
that
droid.
floaty platform.
Oh man, that's awesome. Like it's stuff like that goes for like $300-400 like once the convention's over, because you can only buy it there.
These days.
Yeah. There's also a Luke versus Vader pack coming out, which is both figures on the platform from Empire Strikes Back. Cool. You know, the circular platform where he loses his hand. There is an Anakin and Captain Rex. Hand. Yeah, I used to have one actually, the 3 3/4 inch Luke Skywalker Bespin. He had a magnetic hand that came off. Yeah, but it was kind of useless though, because the magnet wasn't very strong.
So just fall off all the time.
Sometimes when I was like pretending to like walk him around my room,
just fall off.
His hand, if it was like holding a gun or a lightsaber or something, it would just drop off. So. They got Bounty Hunter Ventress. They got a Jango Fett coming out. Of course, Khmer's the Stranger looks totally sick.
Oh, neat.
The best thing that came out of that show, easily.
There has been no merch for that character, even though people really like him.
Yeah. They're also releasing a special action figure set for Force Ghosts, where you can swap the head of Hayden Christensen to Sebastian Shaw.
That's so funny. I feel like they did that just like because they thought it was funny.
Oh yeah, probably. Yeah, I wonder if there's
this
maybe
way everyone will be our friends.
I wanted like
they'll all like it.
I wonder if they were having like a fight in like at Hasbro, you know,
Right,
like in the conference room. Like, okay, we're gonna do a Force Ghost set, everybody, and then like half the room's like, you're doing Sebastian, right? And then the other half's like,
everyone
no, like it's got to be Hayden, like
25, 30.
Yeah, but see, I think maybe it's the same situation where it's going to be magnetically attachable and detachable.
So you move him around and it's going to roll off.
Yeah, his head's going to drop off. Yeah. Who knows, right? They're also doing a full size.
They also have like a fish tank, a miniature fish tank. Put the head in, like it's from like Futurama.
Yeah. They're also doing a 3 3/4 inch scale lat gunship, which of course
that is really sleek.
The scale for the 3 3/4 inch stuff is always like on point. Like
that's artwork, right? Not the actual product.
That's a prototype. That's a digital render of the product that they will eventually make. And I think they're doing this kind of like all the other ones. They're doing it as like a Kickstarter thing. So
Hasbro, right?
Yeah. So they, as long as they get enough people buying into it,
because that's what happened for the barge, right?
Barge. Yeah, and they also did it for the Razor Crest as well, and all of which skyrocket in value afterwards. Don't take any financial advice from me. I'm just kind of throwing it out there, but
this is your opportunity.
Yeah. But
we don't know.
Yeah.
If there was a $600 toy I was going to buy, this is it.
The Laddie?
The Laddie?
To admit.
Nice.
Yeah. Because the ball turrets are actually proper and everything.
Yeah,
I've sat and stared at this longer than I want to admit as a 41-year-old man.
I mean, it's pretty impressive. Like George said, if you like it, it's art.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
I was also just thinking, outside Lego, when's the last time they made any sort of toy Laddie?
Oh, it's been a long time. They have made one. I think
like Attack of the Clones.
They definitely have made one before, but it's been a while, like a long time.
They made the Command Laddie. I want to say like 12 or 13 years ago. It was the black one. Like all the paint on it was black.
Interesting.
That's from the 2D Clone Wars, right? They have like the stealth one.
No, it wasn't a stealth one. They just called it the command ship, and it was released in very low numbers. They didn't like publicly say anything about it. I found out about it like a year after and couldn't find it anywhere. So
shark mouth.
Oh yeah, I see a picture of it. It's kind of like yeah. So there's somebody who did a YouTube video of every gunship ever made, and it's got like that teeth paint on it. That's from like
that is the 2D Clone Wars.
The 2D Clone Wars, yeah. That's the Gendy version. That's cool.
Man, I want to show
So I have that in I have that in the Micro Squad Galaxy thing.
Oh, cool. Okay. Yeah. So they've done like 5, 6?
That's far more than I thought.
7.
7.
They've done 7. This will be the 8th. This will be the 8th one that they've ever made. And
they can only do one more after that.
It looks like it could be the biggest one. Like it looks like it's amped up a little bit on scale, which is nice.
Yeah, they said it's more proper to scale how it would be in real life.
Yeah,
so.
And that's nice cool. Because that's how they did the Razor Crest too. Like the scale was pretty on point, which is
from the show. You mean?
Yeah, which is very impressive because those 3 3/4 inch figures are like, you know,
oh, it's
like
a scale to the minifigs.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, like these things are huge, so very very impressive.
Be cool to do some.
The one I bought for, the one I bought for Revenge of the Sith doesn't fit anywhere, so I can only imagine how bad this one's gonna be.
Oh man,
right.
Yeah. So yeah, totally.
Getting a bigger house.
They are doing a crowdfunding platform to launch this product though, and which includes 2 Clone Trooper pilot figures, 2 interchangeable nose art panels, and 2 vehicle stands. And as
Do
with
they have
all
the sticker of Padme?
Nope. As with all HasLab campaigns, the stretch goals are worth stretching for. Unlock 3 tiers to build out members of the Jedi Council, including additions to the vintage collection, including Coleman Trebor, Sassy Tin, and Aegon Kolar. And you can back the gunship from July 25th, 2025 until September 8th, aiming for the fall release next year. So the campaign runs from right now until September 8th this year, and then it shuts off. And then people who funded it get the product next year in the fall. So you have to wait like a full year.
If you don't fund it, you don't get an opportunity to buy it.
If you don't fund it, you don't get an opportunity to get it easily.
Right.
Because I think
to
they
be able
still
to limited run.
Yeah, because it's a fairly small run that they actually like do, I believe. So don't quote me on it, but anytime I go to Toys R Us, like I don't exactly see the Razor Crest floating around on the shelf.
Right. Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, like if you want it, you got to back it.
Even then, you probably only buy it online. I doubt it'll be in stores.
Yeah. Highlights from the Lucasfilm publishing panel happened as well. So Lucasfilm Publishing creative director Michael Siglain hosted a panel of all-star authors, including artists like Tessa Gratton, Sue Lee, George Mann, Ian McCraig, Kevin Scott, Charles Soule, we all love Charles Soule, and Harvey Tulabeo at SDCC 2025. The highlights being the finale of the High Republic Phase 3 coming soon from the likes of Marvel. They also unveiled a Young Jedi Adventures training sessions series, which I guess that's like a graphic novel sort of picture comic book series, I guess, and that's based on the animated show, The Young Jedi Adventures.
Are you up to date with that?
Admittedly, I think I'm like half a season or a full season behind. It's hard. It's hard to get
ahead
through.
of me.
If you don't have young kids, it's hard to get through. Yeah. There's also an Art of the Acolyte book coming out, but we knew that from Star Wars Celebration. There is a comic series from Dark Horse coming out called Tales from the Nightlands, which is very curious because it says they'll introduce fans to the Nightlander, a Star Wars boogeyman designed by legendary concept artist Ian McCaig that seeks to possess a living host and bring misery and despair to the galaxy. Get ready to hide under your covers for the first issue of Tales of the Nightlands, releasing September 5th, 2025. So
is that canon?
Yeah. And I don't know what exactly this will entail when it comes to
sounds
the
like
story.
A ghost story.
Could be a ghost story. Yeah, it could be a story about a ghost story, maybe. And maybe it's something
a tale
else.
and a tale.
Yeah, maybe. I guess we'll find out.
So we're not introducing like
The Exorcism.
Yeah, that's the one.
Exorcist?
That's it. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like the Star Wars version of that.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe. Star Wars Hyperspace Stories Grievous is coming out. That's going to be an 88-page original graphic novel in early 2026. This is going to be about Grievous as he stalks a Jedi Knight and his battalion of clone troopers on a jungle planet of Katu. And that's all it says. So that could be interesting, I guess.
Just the fact that we got something with Grievous as a protagonist character.
Yeah, and this also sounds like just the way that they set up the idea of this plot. It sounds like it's what people may have wanted from the character during the Clone Wars, which he ended up being a lot of like, running away and not being as scary.
He basically became like a mustache twirling villain to be defeated every week.
Yeah.
He was very useless.
They're also doing another hyperspace stories launch from Dark Horse. It's starting with an issue number 1. It's a series called Tides of Terror, which is going to be about Master Kid Fisto exploring a distant ocean planet and fending off fierce beasts that swim in the depths. So that's kind of cool. Behind the scenes, fans got an inside look of the ILM 50th anniversary book coming out this year. I believe it does publish within the next month and a half or two. So those you can buy from every bookstore imaginable. I've seen it listed at our bookstore up here in Canada, and looks awesome. I think it could really fit in well with my Star Wars Archives books over there. It's a nice thick nice
spine.
Yeah, lots of big pictures and good spine. So yeah, it could be interesting.
Surprised you don't have a shelf behind you with all this stuff for your calls with guests and whatnot.
Maybe we should switch spaces here on the table.
That'd be a good idea.
Visual guide for The Mandalorian encompassing seasons 1 through 3. This is written by the one and only Pablo Hidalgo, and is going to be a great visual guide for fans who want to have a commemorative compendium to the series before going into the Mandalorian and Grogu movie next year. And with that also comes a rhyming board book called You're My Little Grogu from author Grace Baranowski and artist Kaylee McCabe. So that's for the younger readers. I guess the super younger readers is actually more like a parent reading their kid kind of book. Just in time for the Mandalorian and Grogu coming out next year. Let's see. We also have more hyperspace stories from the Bad Batch coming out, which covers their time during the Clone Wars. And more from Dr. Aphra, Chaos Agent, Legacy of Vader, as well as the Jedi Knights series. All three of those are Marvel properties. And the final thing was another Mike Shen book. Now, the last time that we read Mike Shen, that was the Brotherhood book with Anakin and Obi-Wan between Attack of the Clones and the Clone Wars TV show. The newest thing that Mike Shen has been working on is a Star Wars Outlaws book called Low Red Moon. And this is a prequel novel to the video game coming out to bookstores February 3rd. It's a story that encompasses the characters ND5 and Jalen Vrax on a mission. I guess. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. So if you haven't played the game, then maybe wait a little longer, because you can read the prequel novel first and then dive into the story, and by then the game will be discounted another $20 or so. So there you have it. Anything that you're looking forward to reading? I don't know. Is there any Star Wars book that...
I guess really just the one that you recommended recently.
Yeah, Force Collector?
Yeah, that one sounds pretty neat. Because I love those books that are kind of outside the norm.
Yeah,
to break it up. And small scale. I prefer small,
low stakes.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Low stakes. I find those are just more interesting because they fit into the world better.
Right. Yeah.
It doesn't have to be some massive thing. So I definitely want to read that one.
Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah. Yeah, Darian, you planning on reading anything anytime soon?
I just picked up the Mace Windu comic book series by Mark Bernardin, so I'm going to be reading that in the next few days, I think.
Oh, great. Okay.
How about yourself?
Well, when you're done that, let me know, and then we'll, you can chat about it here and get your full review. Personally, I'm trying to. So I wrapped up Force Collector, and I'm just trying to finish Guardians of the Whills. It's like a junior novel, which is a prequel to Rogue One, and it's a story about Chirrut Inway and Baze. What's his last name again? Anyway, Baze, the other guy, and it's about their time on Jeddah before the whole place explodes.
Man,
so
it was wasn't it 10 years ago Rogue One came out?
Yeah, so this book
we're
is
talking
a
about
while
the
ago.
Same thing 10 years ago.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, just not on the record, but yeah, I'm kind of going back and I'm like, oh, which books came out that I'm like wanting to read that are quick reads to get through, right? Which is why I've been reading some junior novels, because I find junior novels very pleasing to get through because they're quick.
They're not as complicated. Some of the adult novels, I feel like they try to get too much.
Yeah, they stuff too much in, and sometimes it takes a weird direction that you're like, man, that was like kind of boring or something like that, right? And it's like that
Twilight
was all
Company.
fluff. Yeah, and just the junior novels just are kind of to the point.
Yeah, it's like almost like too immersive to the point where it just feels like it's dragging on a bit.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like I'm not a huge fan of like overly descriptive books.
So you don't read Lord of the Rings, huh?
No, I haven't yet. No, I've read The Hobbit twice. I have not read Lord of the Rings yet.
Well, that's basically the junior version of Lord of the Rings. So.
Yeah, can't say I was a huge fan of The Hobbit either, but you know, it is what it is. But
I'm gonna strike that from the record.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's kind of painful, man. The Hobbit's like one of the best books ever written.
I think we might have just lost a few subscribers.
I don't know. I mean, like, okay, here's the thing. The Hobbit is written for an audience which existed like 40, 50 years ago. Like,
I mean, I read it in middle school. In fact, I read it again recently, and I liked it both times.
Yeah, like kids are different now. All I remember thinking was when I was in school, like we read a lot of like books, like like older books, like George Orwell and all this stuff. And it's like, man, like we've been reading the same stuff in school for like decades now. Like kids want newer stuff, and that's why Harry Potter was a big hit, because it was the first fantasy genre that was actually good,
had staying power
for that age group, right? And so like
it aged with that generation.
Yeah, and I don't mean to criticize Tolkien as a writer and author or anything like that, because he's a brilliant writer and
father of fantasy, as everyone knows.
Yeah, exactly. And in the same way that I would criticize George's THX 1138. It's just like, okay, it wasn't for me, and like, it's a great world and I love the space and I love the story, and the mythology and everything. But when I read The Hobbit, it does feel like I'm reading a children's book that was written for kids that were kids like 40, 50 years ago, So it's like times have changed. I'm not really down to read that kind of pace of story. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, I want something a little more actiony, a little more upbeat.
You just got to grow up a bit, Josh. When you become an adult, then you might start to like these slower paced,
maybe
well thought out stories a little more.
I got to stick to Tom Bombadil instead. No, I don't know. I mean, like, obviously, like, pacing of storytelling has changed, right? Like, you can see it in book, you can see it in movies, you can see it in music, you can see it in video games. And not that I need to be overly stimulated, like, like some people need to be, but it's just, I don't know. It's just like, it's a very, very slow paced story. There's a lot of songs. I hate the songs. When you're reading songs in a book, it sucks. Like, it doesn't matter.
Did you ever try to guess the tune?
No, I don't need to guess, man. I've read both, like, I've done the audiobook, so I've heard someone singing in my ear and it's awful.
How dare you say that about Andy Serkis?
Okay, and he
has a lovely singing voice.
One of the best things was when I was watching Rings of Power. I think one of the best things that show has done so far, because I do have my complaints like most other people, but they made an actual good song based on the lyrics that he made for Tom Bombadil, and it was so good, man. I was listening to it, I was like, hey, that's the song. Like, that's like
he plays when
that's like a song that they used lyrics from, and they did change a little bit, but like it's adapted, from a song that Tolkien made. And I was like, whoa, this is cool. Like, this is awesome. And
props to them for doing that.
Dude, yeah, huge props. Like, have you not heard this? Or you never finished it, did you?
I have half an episode left of season 2.
Really? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I'm like literally talking about like the finale episode.
Like the last 10 minutes.
Yeah. Like literally
the only thing I didn't watch.
Yeah. The only thing you haven't
That's pretty funny.
Okay, here, check this out. Listen to this.
Now song begin. Let us sing together of sun, stars, moon, and mist, rain and cloudy weather. Light on the budding leaf, dew on the feather.
It's catchy, right?
Wind on the open hill, bells on the heather. Oh, slender as a
Played at an inn, a local tavern.
Yeah. And then in the show, like, I mean, that's in the spirit of doing kind of like how The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings did, where they have a vocalized version of a song that was sung in the.
You mean like a cappella?
Well, I mean, like, kind of like how I think it was at Fellowship that had Enya in it, and then each Hobbit movie had like an artist. Like one of them had Ed Sheeran, one of them had Billy Boyd, you know, and then the other one had somebody else that I can never remember the name of. But each one, when the credits drop, you get somebody who's like singing a song that's like a modern day artist, right? So the song
that is about, I think it's the end of the first one. It's about Gollum.
The first one, it's like it was like the dwarven.
Sorry, Lord of the Rings. There's one where like.
Oh, the Lord of the Rings.
Sad,
yeah,
but they're singing about Gollum. I think it's like
something like that. Yeah. So in the show, like this is the song that they sing, but then
the second one.
This is the one that came in the show, and then the one you heard first is the one that drops in the credits. But like, man, look at the soundtrack. What a killer soundtrack. Like whoever composed this show, like I think what's his name, Bear McCreary. I feel like he would be a good composer to bring in to do a Star Wars show if they ever did. Cool. Yeah, because I just liked his style. And when I was watching the show, I was like, man, this is like he's like talented guy. Like, you know.
I mean, if he's gonna do Star Wars, he needs to use more trumpets.
Yeah, true. Yeah. I listen to this.
Merry doll, derry doll, ring-a-ding-dillo. Sand flies in the grass, bees around the willow.
Just two dudes singing together.
That's a Hobbit song for
the
sure.
Song begin. Let us sing together. Of sun, stars, moon, and mist, rain and cloudy weather. Light on the budding leaf, dew on the feather. Wind on the open hill, bells on the heather.
Very good. So these are from the books?
Yeah, so the lyrics can't come from the books, and
Could you
then
imagine? Man, that's a tough job. I'm very impressed because it must be so difficult to try to write music for lyrics. You have no idea what the tune was.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, and like the lyrics aren't completely one for one, but there's like entire lines that are
reason.
There's like just to try and fit it into the tune. You know, they had tweak some stuff, but yeah, most of it is like directly out of the original.
That's cool.
So that's the song, but yeah, very cool stuff. All right, yeah, we should probably get back here. Never before seen art from 20 years of Lucasfilm Animation. So Lucasfilm Animation celebrated 20 years as of this year, which is bonkers because I guess, you know, that was a while ago. You remember 20 years ago?
Yes.
Darren's like, yeah.
Yeah, I would. Okay.
Well, 20 years ago, we were in the theater, watching Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, it would have been.
I guess that was technically last year, but was it last year?
That means that it just came out on.
Oh, no, it was this year. It was this year because the three of us went. Right. Actually, yeah, the three of us went with our larger group to the theater to watch Revenge of the Sith. But anyway, that was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So shortly after Revenge of the Sith came out, Lucasfilm Animation was conceptualized and created because that's when
they're going to spin up Clone Wars.
Yeah, exactly. That's when Dave got the job.
No. And that's when they put out the movie to release it.
Yeah, well, that was 2 or 3 years later. But
be that big of a gap.
It was 2008 that came out. But it was between 2005 and 2008 that the movie and the show was conceptualized, worked on, and then released. And because it takes a long time to make an animated feature, like
especially 3D.
Yeah, Disney, it takes
days.
like between 4 to 6 years or 7. DreamWorks, it's like same thing. So yeah, it takes a long time to do feature animation, and it's a lot of work. So 20 years later, Dave Filoni sat down to sketch. In 2011, Dave Filoni sat down to sketch a clone trooper, and he wrote a few names beside him: Hunter, Wrecker, Tech, and Crosshair. That drawing has journeyed over the years from Filoni's desk at Lucasfilm Animation to the production of Star Wars The Bad Batch 10 years after that drawing was made in 2021, and all the way to a booth at this year's San Diego Comic-Con, where you can see it for yourself at the 20-year anniversary Lucasfilm Animation panel. So they had a big booth set up. They had artwork displayed. They had props from the animated series that they had kind of brought to life in a way, and they had stuff from Ahsoka there as well. You can scroll through some pictures on StarWars.com. They've got some miniature models showcasing some really cool stuff. They had a miniature model of the Colossus from Star Wars Resistance. I thought this would kind of pique your interest
the ship.
here.
Cool.
Yeah, the ship.
It's the best part of that show.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Here, I'll send you the link in the chat here, Darian, so you can take a look at these images here. But I thought it was kind of cool that they had all this stuff. They had some ships from the Resistance show. They had maquettes for some of the face sculpts for some of the characters. They have Sabine's helmet in a display case along with her blasters. They've got Anakin's lightsaber.
From the Ahsoka show, or it's a replica from the animated series?
I think it's both in a way. Like, but I mean, yeah, I don't really know. That's a good question. I guess somebody out there is gonna have to do a side-by-side comparison. But
I see Zeb.
Oh yeah, there's Zeb's face sculpt.
So is this all stuff by Dave?
No, it's not all stuff by Dave, but it's by the Lucas Animation team that would, asset development stages and stuff like that, that would make these facial sculpts out of clay, and before they actually model in 3D, and then then it would go to 3D. But then they have screenshots after that, which it's kind of like a museum sort of section where they showcase some pieces and early concept art and renderings and stuff like that from major moments. And
that's cool.
Just a nice way to commemorate 20 years of Lucas animation shows. So
should have got really high resolution photos of them all so you can print them out.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's all kind of in anticipation for Ahsoka season 2 next year, as well as Darth Maul Shadow Lord. And I'm really looking forward to Shadow Lord quite a bit.
Is Ahsoka season 2 announced?
That's yeah. They actually showed an image of Iman Efstani in his costume for season 2.
They did the recast.
They did a recast. They showcased a photo of what's his name as Baylan Skull now. So that's kind of crazy. Yeah, I don't know. What's your favorite show? Lucas Animation show.
Me?
No, both you guys.
It was definitely originally Clone Wars, but I'm gonna be honest. That rewatch of Rebels, I really liked it. So I might be moving a little bit in that direction.
Oh, okay, all right. What about you, Darian?
I'm definitely gonna say Clone Wars. Rebels had more heart, but Clone Wars was a better vocation for telling more diverse stories. You really got into like more interesting characters. It broke the mold of the type of characters you got in Star Wars.
That's true. Yeah, Clone Wars did a lot for a lot of stories because they were able to tell so many different things. That is like by far the strongest part about Clone Wars.
Yeah, definitely.
And I know we've talked many times about how we want them to figure out how to do that kind of style of storytelling again.
Yeah,
they just never seem to be able to. I think they modeled too much of the original trilogy style of just like close knit handful of characters.
For sure. I brought up an article called "Take Home the Standout Star Wars Exclusives from San Diego Comic-Con." I don't really want to go through this entire list because there's a lot, but the thing that stuck out to me was two things. One of them was this really sweet. Do you remember at Disney World where I got that leather bracelet engraved with Orbesh, like my name on it, and it was just like a leather bracelet.
Vaguely.
Okay. Well, anyway,
I remember getting the name tags and Arbesh, and the guy wouldn't let me. I was gonna be like R4 or something, right? Or like R7.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't let me do it.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah. I was so annoyed. So I was trying to find a loophole. I'm trying to convince him that my name was some obscure thing.
Roger 4.
Yeah, exactly.
Roger the 4th.
I think I can't remember what I ended up doing, but yeah, it was just some nonsensical thing.
Yeah. My name's Richard the 3rd, but can we just shorten it to R3?
That'll work.
Well, they have Rock Love was there. Rock Love makes a lot of jewelry and stuff, and they have this booth where you could get live Orbesh engravings on some of their stuff, like some of their nice pendants and things like that. So you can see that thing right there.
Oh yeah.
So
it's like dog tags.
Yeah. So I felt that's really cool. Pretty awesome. And the other thing that stuck out was, other than the Duonovo Vader helmet from Empire, which looks absolutely sick, is a limited edition Darth Vader Tamagotchi. Do you guys remember Tamagotchi?
Yes, that was a long time ago. Surprised
Awesome.
it's still around.
So I used to have one as well. And
did it die?
Yep. This one is a limited edition Tamagotchi. Puts Anakin Skywalker's path in the palm of your hands.
If you don't feed Anakin, does he die?
Yeah. Showcasing a shiny metallic shell. You can get him to take him. You can take him through lightsaber training, and your interactions will determine what light or dark side character he meets. This SDCC exclusive also comes with premium black Android box packaging for display. And I don't know, I just thought it was it's really cool. They've done these Star Wars collabs with Tamagotchi before. They've done an R2 one, and I think they've done a Grogu one, if I'm not mistaken.
Those are more Tamagotchi-ish characters.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah.
Anakin is pretty funny.
But
wait, which version of Anakin is it?
It's literally the thing is metallic, and it has a Darth Vader armor print on it.
If you don't feed him, does he turn into Darth Vader?
Yeah, possibly.
He's neglected.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest, when I saw the R2 one, I was like, okay, that's pretty tempting. But when I saw this one, I was like, okay, I would totally buy that. If it wasn't an exclusive, right. I would love to find out.
Well, for $1,000, it could be yours.
Oh man, yeah. Stupid exclusives. I'm sure there's gonna be a Vader, published to everybody, but it's not gonna have this nice chrome look to it.
Right.
But I imagine if they put in the work to make the sprite and that entire virtual path for Anakin, all that work, there's no way they're gonna let that go to waste. So we'll probably see a Darth Vader one at some point brought to the masses, but it's not gonna have this very polished look about it. But when it comes out, I'll probably pick one up.
I'm sure your wife will love that.
I'm sure she will. All right. So, last thing I want to mention is two things before we can start to close out here is because the High Republic is ending, a lot of people might be thinking hey, I want to go through this,
That's a monumental task.
It is.
Take on at this point.
It is. And you can kind of pick your pieces, to be honest, at least from what we read, it's not overly terrible to skip the junior books, and the young adult books are kind of weirdly cemented in a bit of a staple, kind of, if you don't read it, you miss out. But
there's two very main storylines.
Yeah.
There's the adult and the junior.
Yeah, and there's three. There's three. There's the juniors, the young adults, and the adult. And you can totally skip the juniors, but the adult and the young adult are kind of necessary. But if you're,
do they overlap story a little bit too, right?
They do. Yeah, they do. They do kind of trade hands a little bit, and then of course there's the Marvel comic book series, which is also a big sort of sidelining thing that goes along with that between the main events. But if you're really just kind of getting you just want the gist of it, I think a good place to start is the Light of the Jedi book that we read. That's a Phase 1 book. Phase 2 books have the blue label, Phase 1 books have the gold, and Phase 3 have the black. And the reason I say it in that order is because Phase 2 are all prequel to Phase 1.
Yeah, I was going to say, wouldn't it be better reading Phase 2 first?
You can. I just, the reason I can't recommend it is because I haven't read any Phase 2 books, and they are like hundreds of years before Phase 1 takes place. And they're, from what I've gathered, they're very preliminary Jedi during this time on missions that don't concern the plot of the Nihil and so on and so forth. So
yeah, I would be very surprised if there's any overlap with that story.
Yeah. So,
but it might with the Drengir or whatever.
Possibly. Yeah. I mean, I haven't read it to know, but yeah, there's a big event in there called the Battle of Jeddah, which plays into the big Jedi statue crumbled on the ground that you see in Rogue One. That's also tied into this particular era and a battle that happens there.
That's one we were planning to read.
Yeah. It's an audio exclusive, which I think they published a book version of it, the script version, I guess. But yeah, there's some books in there which look kind of interesting, and then of course there's the big event of the series, which is Light of the Jedi, which is Phase 1, and that goes through now all the Phase 3 stuff that they've done, which is I think a smaller wave in general of content, but still sizable. And
do you think because they released in that kind of wonky order with the prequels of it being in the middle kind of dampened the momentum it had?
I think so. I think, honestly, if you ask me, and I think we did talk about this a little bit in one of the episodes that we've done in the last number of weeks, but just my general opinion on it was that they released too much stuff for the High Republic. I think it was a little too grandiose, like almost too big, a very comparable, arguably more successful multimedia push was probably back in the 90s when they did what was it, Darian? That big multimedia project?
Shadows of the Empire?
Yeah, Shadows, yeah. Because to this day, Shadows is still remembered. I mean, not that High Republic is going to be forgotten, but like it's I think it was just it was a smaller scale.
Because I only remember the game. There's like a bunch of stuff that came out with it.
Yeah, it was like toy lineup and a video game. There was a bunch of novels that sort of coexisted around that same time period, which played into the time period that the game was set in. There was also some novels. I
understand why Phil is so obsessed.
Yeah,
he must have been all very engaged with this whole like narrative push.
Yeah, and that, I don't know, Darian, did you consume any of that stuff when it came out?
Oh, I was huge into it. So I read the book and got the video game right away. I've still got quite a few of the toys. I gave away the Outrider and some other stuff to like my friends' kids, but it meant a lot to us because there was just nothing forever, and then all of a sudden, one of the best stories in Star Wars came out with like just tons of material. Everyone thought there was going to be a movie for it eventually, but it just never did anything.
Yeah. So like part of this push was, like you said, the video game, which had 4 parts to it. There was an official soundtrack that was released to sideline with that game. There was also 2 novels, that came out, and a comic book series. And there was, of the same name, the sequel novel, I think, was called Evolution. And there was also Kenner action figures, Boba, Chewbacca, Dash, Rendar, that is, Leia, Luke, Prince Shizor, and Prince Shizor with Darth Vader. And then there was the vehicles, Outrider, Slave One, and the Swoop Bike. There was also a big push from the trading card side of things from the Topps Trading Card Company. And that was it. Like it was a big marketing push with not a crazy overwhelming amount of literature, and I think that was a very successful multimedia push. Like you got a big thing coming out. It's like, okay, let's do a bunch of things surrounding this item and make it all accessible and good and easy to follow.
The smartest move was the game.
Definitely,
because
yeah.
Lots of people are like, oh, the Star Wars game. And then they find out about all the books and stuff around it. They're more likely to pick that up.
Darian, do you remember if the video game advertised the books by any means? Like, do you know if there was like a nod of a head in the credits or like anything in the main menu that may have like been a little toast advertisement to the books?
Just to know it exists?
Yeah, anything at all?
Yeah, there was a line on a lot of the commercials in like fine print based on the book, and on a couple of commercials there'd be like a picture of the book at the end of it. But each different iteration told a slightly different story, or like from a different perspective. So the video game is like Dash Rendar telling the story of Shadows of the Empire over beers at like a cantina when he retired. The book is kind of more from Luke's perspective, and then the comic books are for like the bounty hunter's perspectives more.
Okay.
I did not know that.
Interesting. Yeah. Successful though. Like I said, I mean, like I feel like that was a successful multimedia push, right?
Yeah.
And it was more manageable. Mind you, the company was like, this is way smaller back then. Lucasfilm was probably like a handful of people in an office. But at the same time, it's like, okay, for a consumer to follow that's a bit more manageable, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And I feel like High Republic is just like, it just went kind of off the deep end a little bit. It was
too much, too fast, and it was all written.
Yeah.
Like you have to read it or audiobook.
Yeah. There wasn't like a single story that was more compressed. And
they should have launched some games.
Yeah.
It would have made a huge difference.
I feel like yeah, go ahead, Darren.
The philosophy of how they came up with the stories between Shadows of the Empire versus High Republic is totally different. With Shadows of the Empire, the story evolved several times because they were doing the best idea wins. Like originally it was actually supposed to be set between A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back. But one of the major writers was like, hey, no, there's much more fertile ground after Empire Strikes Back before Jabba's Palace. There's so many stories. There's a more open timeline that hasn't been explored at all. So that's why we should go into it. And that was the attitude of like, whoever has the best idea wins. How can we incorporate it? And whereas the High Republic, it just seemed like, hey, we have to get this out no matter what.
Yeah. And
they had a lot of cooks in the kitchen too.
Yeah, it was.
And all these big authors.
Definitely. Yeah. And it was also, like you said, like in ways that were different from Shadows, like there was a big emphasis on it being a literary push rather than it being like a dedicated multimedia kind of thing, because they didn't go into this thinking like, we're going to make toys. Like they went into it thinking
because George wasn't in control.
Yeah, exactly. And they went into it thinking like, we're going to make books and we're going to make comic books. And then it just kind of went in different directions from there. And I appreciate some of the weird niche areas that they started to go in. Like obviously Jedi Survivor started touching up on the High Republic a bit with the subplot in that game. There was a game that it's allegedly still in production. It's called Star Wars Eclipse and by Quantic Dream. The website is still up. It's still active. It's still supposed to eventually come out. And it looks visually fantastic. The trailer looks super epic. And I am very, very keen to play this game whenever it comes out. It's just, when it comes out is the question. There was a VR game called Tales from the Galaxy's Edge that I played through the campaign on that, and there was a side mission that was High Republic era, and so there's some cool stuff that has come out of the push, but I just feel like it was very scaled up in ways that a lot of people would have just not consumed all of the stuff, But
no, I agree, and it was a daunting amount of books to be honest.
Yeah, it definitely was. Yeah, definitely.
Because
also,
sorry.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, because we are adults, could you imagine being in like middle school and trying to keep up with all these books?
No.
I would not have the attention span.
Like I remember in middle school, middle school, elementary school. I remember very very actively keeping up with a specific junior novel series that was an ongoing legacy project from the Jedi Apprentice books, and that was like the Qui-Gon Obi-Wan series by Jude Watson, and then that same author went on to write the Jedi Quest series, which was 10 books, and then the Last of the Jedi series, which was also 10 books, and they also Jude also did Legacy of the Jedi and Secrets of the Jedi.
And you read all of those?
I read all of the Quest and Last of the Jedi books, as well as the last 2 novels that I mentioned, and some special novel, like mini novel that also took place in one of those series. And I read a handful of the Jedi Apprentice books, but not the whole series, because that series went for like 20 something books, I think.
That was a lot. What's the time period though?
Each
start to finish,
each one.
years?
So Jedi Apprentice was pre-episode 1. Jedi Quest was between 2 and 3, and then Last of the Jedi was after episode 3.
Sorry, but how long did it take you to read all those?
Oh, it spanned between 2. Well, I mean, at least when I latched onto the Apprentice book, that was after the whole series had kind of ended. So that was like 2002, I want to say. And then that's also when I started getting into Quest. Mm-hmm. And then that brought me all the way through to like, I want to say like 2009 or 10 when the last one came out for the Last of the Jedi book series.
Yeah.
So
just like roughly 7 years.
Roughly, it was a good chunk of like my growing up years, when the prequels were coming out. Mm-hmm. And that was, that's not exactly a multimedia thing, but it was part of the larger marketing push for the prequel books, right? Or for the prequel movies, sorry.
Yeah.
Prequel movies.
But I guess the point I'm trying to get at then is that age category, I think myself, and it sounds like you as well.
That was it for that age category. There was like very little else.
Oh, so would you have read more if there was more?
Probably not. That's
what I was getting at, is like the capacity of how much one can read.
Yeah, I mean,
and like keep interest.
That's the thing, right? Like, I mean, I feel like in order for it to be special, it's just this is the same with anything. Like, in order for it to be special, you can't have everything so consistently coming out all the time.
Tsunami,
right? Yeah, and it is what it is, right? Like, I mean, I think even as we release these podcast episodes, like, not everyone is going to be as dedicated as some people listening every single week, but some people will like pick and choose based on the title and be like, oh yeah, okay, this one, sounds interesting to me. And
that's how I picked my Star Wars books.
So. Right. Yeah. It's the same way where like anyone might, browse YouTube and not watch every single video from any particular creator, but watch the ones that they want to make. And it's just because there is simply
not enough time.
Too much stuff. But then there's some creators out there or some channels that are very inconsistently putting stuff out, and then because it's coming out on a very less frequent basis, you do watch everything.
Right, yeah.
Right? And so that was Star Wars books at the time for me. And now there's just so much. I just like, okay, can't keep up, which is, it's too bad, but it is what it is.
Well, I'd like to suggest that for one of our next books, maybe because episode 400 is coming up, we do Shadows of the Empire.
Shadows.
The novel?
Yeah. I think that would be a lot of fun. And it's, in my mind, it's the most canon book I've ever read.
Interesting. Okay. I've never read it, so I'd be down for that.
Yeah.
Josh, I think, is the wild card because I don't think you read a lot of non-canon stuff.
I just have a hard time keeping up with canon as it is. This
is history, Josh.
that I rarely find myself going back and reading kind of older stuff. But I'd be down to do it though. And I think we should inform Phil and.
Oh yeah, definitely got to get Phil on.
Yeah, and we'll do like an event review about this story. Yeah, so we talk about
it. Get the council together.
Yeah. All right, two little things here, and then we'll wrap it up. There was an article from Gaming Bible that came out that I saw, and it was headlined as Star Wars fans torn over the real reason that behind the Acolyte's cancellation 1 year on. They go on to say, a year on from the Acolyte's cancellation, fans are pretty torn on the real reason behind Disney shutting down the production. Acolyte was a decent show when it first aired. While a vocal minority seemed to have a problem with it, it was generally a good show that expanded the Star Wars universe and gave us a fresh perspective on an earlier part of the timeline. This is written by Ollie Smith. After getting only one season of 8 episodes, Disney made the decision to cancel the Acolyte August 2024, with low viewership being a key reason as to why. Now, a report from a data company known as Parrot Analytics has suggested that this decision may not have been the wisest move from Disney. This is a credit to Screen Rant. The company reports that the demand for the Acolyte has been pretty high, combining viewership with things like social media engagement, wiki clicks, and search trends. It turns out that the show was actually one of the top trending Disney Plus shows back in February and March. This gives it an overall rating of outstanding on Parrot Analytics' website and indicates that the show may have been more popular than we were led to believe. So they may have prematurely acted by canceling the Acolyte, wrote one fan on Reddit. It continues to perform and is at the top when it comes to shows that are still being talked about. This is why you don't make business decisions based on cries of the phantom chuds. However, it's also worth noting that the Acolyte went notoriously over budget with a projected cost of around 180 million USD. That's extremely high when you consider a season of The Mandalorian that only cost 120 million. The unsustainable budget and nature of streaming definitely will have been the biggest reason behind the cancellation, reads a comment in the replies. But I wouldn't be surprised if the initial lower viewing figures and chuds basically review bombing on the show, whilst the biggest Star Wars YouTuber does videos by taking and then it stars it out, of the show and tearing it apart each week, led to Disney deciding to pull the plug as early as they did. And another person writes something scathing about reasons that it was taken down, and that they claimed this show needed space and time to grow, and many other things. And then they cap it off with, either way, it's a shame that we probably won't get another season of this show. There's always the possibility of its plot threads being wrapped up in a book or another show entirely, but we'll have to wait and see what happens there. So what do you guys think of that? Like, do you think it's, I mean, like Parrot Analytics, obviously that's not critics, that is simply statistics of online engagement.
Right.
So, like, do you think that's a result of the failure of the show? Now, people looking stuff up after the fact, or do you think... I would
also be curious, percentage of people that are very active on social media and percentage of them that like the show versus people who don't use social media who maybe didn't like the show.
Yeah.
That's my only...
I'm curious about that,
I'm just
too.
curious if there's a bias there.
Yeah, because I'm not a social media person.
I don't either.
And, you know... And it's like we had things to say about the show. Like, I mean, obviously we keep things pretty positive and pretty, you know, overall neutral when it comes to trying not to be negativity out there. But
yeah,
you know.
like I really like the era, and I'm really glad they made something.
Yeah,
and I definitely enjoyed like good chunks of it. But I also do wonder if we're only going to get so many shows if we're perhaps better off with a different storyline.
Right.
Because you got to pick and choose. You can't have everything.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And I certainly had my fair share of problems with the show as well, but it was like, there was some pretty wicked stuff that came out of that show.
But yeah, the only thing is like, then you get to the finale and that's where you actually are like, oh, I'm more.
Yeah. And, you know, and again,
by then it was too late.
I could have gone without a bunch of stuff, but at the same time, it's like, okay, like, you know, if they shifted gears with season 2, kind of like how they shifted gears with the Halo show, I think maybe something really good could have come out of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, if they learned from the lesson and gave it another chance, but I don't know. Maybe they called it and they're like, hey, let's not learn from our lesson. Let's just call it a loss and move on. Right.
It's also tough just when streaming being so expensive and not a lot of return value.
Right.
As it is. So in fact, it was over budget and everything. And then they just had a really rocky start out of the gate. It was kind of.
Yeah. I do wonder if this
going against the tide.
Yeah, and I do wonder if this plays into the reason that we haven't seen a Steelbook produced. The Blu-rays have kind of been put on pause for a while. Like the last ones, you're able to buy Mando season 1 through 3, Ahsoka season 1, and Kenobi. That's it. Like those are the only ones, right? Am I missing?
I've seen Andor.
Oh, and Andor. Sorry, yeah, we own Andor season 1.
Oh, they don't do 2 yet.
So yeah, so season 2 of Andor is missing. Skeleton Crew, Acolyte, and Book of Boba Fett. Those are the 4 that we currently have no Blu-rays for.
Other than Boba Fett, I feel like they're pretty new. Because they're usually pretty slow to release those.
Usually, but it's older than Ahsoka season 1, and we got Ahsoka season 1. So like I think
Filoni's orders.
To me that just says, okay, they have avoided doing the least profitable shows so far. I think the only ones that doesn't apply to necessarily is Andor season 2, because that literally just came out this year, as well as Skeleton Crew is
pretty
fairly new as well.
Yeah.
But overall,
the Skeleton Crew I thought did really well. I mean, so did Andor.
Yeah, so like I don't know. Overall, maybe they wanted to wait till a very successful season of a show came out to pair it up, because they've been releasing them in pairs.
I was gonna say, yeah, maybe they want to release a bunch at once. It's probably cheaper on manufacturing.
Yeah, maybe they want to pair something that was like less popular up with the very popular Andor, so that they can have both on the shelf.
Right.
And it's like they'll get more people going to the store, picking one up, and be like, oh, I'll pick that one up too, right?
Right.
Maybe.
Your grandmother going to get your Christmas gift and gets the wrong one.
Yeah, like I wanted Andor, Grandma. I didn't want Boba.
This Acolyte show was just as good.
And it was half as much because nobody wanted it.
It was in the discount bin.
Yeah. Oh man. But yeah, I mean, like I buy that. Like
I would too. I buy all of them.
I buy all of them. I bought Rise of Skywalker on Steelbook Blu-ray.
That's true.
Still bought it. I'm a sucker.
We've got to complete the collection.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm a sucker. But yeah, I mean, heck, I'd buy it, and they'll make a little bit of money back from the sales of
And we're not the only ones. A lot of people want to just have the whole collection.
Yeah, exactly. Like we want yeah, totally. Darian, what's your thoughts on all that? I guess Acolyte and online engagement and stuff like that. Have you noticed anything that might sort of insinuate like, okay, some people are loud out there, but like, does it warrant season 2? Maybe like, do you think they're right about this, or do you think they should leave it be?
I have seen so much confirmation for season 2 posted online the last 2 months. Oh, they're definitely doing it. They're definitely doing it. It's like, no, they're not.
I mean, they've also been talking about a Firefly show with the original cast getting back together for the last 20 years.
Way, dude. There's no way.
There was one point that almost happened about
there's
4
a
years ago
movie,
where
but
when they actually started casting people for it, and it had a listing on IMDb and everything. They got really close.
You mean the reboot?
But yeah,
I heard. There was talk about there being a Firefly reboot, like full.
So not the original cast.
No,
it wouldn't be the same.
They would have rebooted the whole universe.
Same main characters, or like different people,
different cast members, same characters, different story.
No, what I heard was that the like Malcolm Reynolds was still running around the world. Zoe was now basically like in charge of her own little empire in the underworld.
So it would have been a spinoff.
So they were gonna.
That's better. I'd be more
kind of, yeah.
Okay, all right, that's better.
Because it was like a soft reboot.
Yeah, because they were still making comic books and they're still making novels.
Yeah, I have some of them.
And yeah. So like the universe is expanded in the literature.
The only thing is that show is so about the characters. I'm not sure how well it would do.
I think that's exactly why they canceled it.
Yeah,
was that fans were not happy about what they were hearing coming out of it.
Yeah, it's very hard to get a spin-off successfully working for any kind of very successful show. I think there's
going to be directly compared.
There's very few that have worked out, like Friends was one of the most popular shows from the 90s till the 2000s, and Joey was like nobody's seen it.
Right.
I mean, I've seen it.
Isn't that like the fish restaurant?
Joey the spinoff, like Fish Rouse. What are you talking about?
Joey's
Fish
own.
Rouse. No, Joey was
I got your joke.
Joey was a spinoff
Thanks.
show that was like, Joey was a spinoff show about Joey, and it was simply that he went off to LA to become an actor, and he left all his friends behind in New York, and it was a comedy show that lasted 2 seasons because it just didn't succeed. Right?
It's because again, it's an ensemble, it's a cast. Just like,
Yeah.
it's the whole group and how they interact in relationships. And Firefly is that too, to be honest.
It was the same with Suits. They had a spinoff called Pearson, which was just about Jessica Pearson going to Chicago, and that lasted for 1 season. Now they have a new spinoff called Suits LA, and it has appearances from the original cast members, but it's a completely different new cast. So I'm curious to see how long they'll keep it up.
Actresses from Firefly in that show.
Yeah, Zoe was the head
I thought so.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
But here's my argument. Joss Whedon has always succeeded with his spin-off shows.
I mean, Angel did really well.
That's true.
Spin-off from Buffy.
That's true.
I'd say Angel was better than Buffy because it took a more adult approach, and
I will agree with that because I finished Angel and I didn't finish Buffy.
Yeah, I know. I guess if the proof is in the pudding, then yeah, sure.
Would Joss do it though? Because that's the real question.
I don't think fans would let him. Like, people still are really angry at him, even though they love his work.
But yeah, I mean, it's it's tough. It's tough, I guess, to get a spinoff functioning and working. Like when people have really loved the original show. But yeah, you could look at all of the Star Wars Disney Plus shows as spinoff shows, right?
I would watch maybe a spinoff show that still had Malcolm Reynolds as like the main character, but then he's got like a different crew. But then you start seeing some of the other characters come in like intermittently. Let's like a time jump later.
Yeah.
I feel like Mal was such a solid person in the show that they could pull it together.
Got it. Yeah.
Without him, I don't think it would work.
Right.
Which version of Mal do you like the best? Do you like the dark and broody, broken Mal, or do you like the happy, kind of like sappy Mal?
Well, you need the mix. That's why he has depth. Makes him like a real person.
I like the mix too, but I noticed in part of season 1, he just is like happy and goofy all the time.
Right. I think it just depends how life's going. If he's got a job or if he doesn't.
Yeah.
Tough times.
All right, I'm gonna try and wrap things up here. I'm gonna finish off with something pretty light. I've been playing the Indiana Jones and the Great Circle video game, which was published by Bethesda just last year in December, on December 9th. But it did come out earlier. It came out earlier this year on PlayStation on April 17th. But it was a last year game to anyone running PC or Xbox. The reason why I'm only just playing it now is not because I play PlayStation, but because I got a free month of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. And randomly, I was like, oh, I haven't purchased or played this game yet. So I'll give it a go because, Bethesda's a Microsoft company now and happen to be on the library of games that I have access to. So I've started to play it. The game takes place in 1937. And it's set between the events of Raiders and The Last Crusade. So just to give you an idea, and it's awesome. It's like, so far it's really, really good. I played maybe an hour or two of gameplay, and it's very cinematic. It's very like immersive, and it's first person as Indiana Jones.
The first person part is kind of bizarre. I never would have pictured an Indiana Jones game in first person.
The cutscenes are all as you would expect them to be.
Yeah.
But the gameplay is all first person. And I think that's probably my biggest complaint about it, is because I really love third person RPGs. And I think it's just a preference. So like, as far as the first person aspect goes, they've done it very well, but I just prefer a third person gameplay, so
I think when you're dealing with a character who's like a known character from a series like Indiana Jones, I think third person makes more sense thematically. Because the first person is like you're assuming that person. You are that person.
Yeah.
Third person, you still feel more of a disconnect of who you're playing. It's like you're watching their story.
Right. Yeah, I agree. And I think like the whole point of this game was really to put you in the shoes of Indiana Jones.
Which feels weird. Just as a concept.
Yeah, and there's things that I can see that they've done which would not be the same if it was third person, but
I feel like you'd lose all of your all the humorous moments.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I don't know. There was something very there's something very satisfying about looking around the room in first person, finding something on a desk, picking it up, and it's a clue. Whereas in third person, it's not the same.
That's true. Yeah.
It's not the same story that's unfolding before your eyes, but on the other hand, combat and scaling around the map, like running around and then exploring the environment, I would say that third person I like more. But as first person, it's a little tougher to do that. And when you are climbing up on your whip, scaling buildings and stuff, it does zoom out into third person. So there are things that's like it does force you into the third person perspective,
right?
And that's where
that makes it worse.
That's where the limitation of first person is, right? And that's where it doesn't hold up. And
it's
that's
not like first person games. You go up the ladder, so you just like look up and then you just start to move upwards.
Right. Yeah.
Slide up the ladder.
Exactly. It's not like that. Yeah. So they've tried to piece together a fairly successful first person. And great reviews for the game. Like people love it, and so As a Lucasfilm Games title, which very few have come out under the Lucasfilm Games title, I just wanted to bring it up and let people know like I'm playing this game, and when I'm done, we'll do a full chat about it. So,
did you ever play the Nathan Drake games?
Uncharted?
Uncharted, yeah.
No.
Because I'd be curious how it would compare to that, because I feel like that's a more recent Indiana Jones themed series.
Yeah, it's also a third person game though, from what from what I know.
So I remember. Third
person game. So, is it first person? I thought it was third person. But
I might be getting mixed up with another game.
Yeah, maybe. There's also Tomb Raider, which is kind of a similar thing. It's
more campy, but yeah.
That one's first person, I think.
Not the original.
The new one is.
Okay. I'm not sure about the new one.
I think. I could be wrong. Actually, maybe it's first person only when you're like using the bow. I don't know. Whatever.
That'd be weird too.
Yeah. I don't know. I forget. Anyway, we'll do a chat on that at some point. But okay. Anything you guys want to bring up right before we wrap up here?
Do you guys want Luke Skywalker to be digitally face replaced or recast as Sebastian? Whatever his name was.
Face replaced.
Yeah, you'd rather do that.
Sebastian Stan?
That's the one. Thank you. I was going to say Shaw.
Yeah, no, face
we
replaced.
Talked about him earlier.
Face replaced 100%. I find it incredibly jank when they replace an actor midway through and then go back to the original actor.
What about the Solo movie? What do we do now?
That's the thing, though, is that we haven't seen Han played by Harrison Ford in a state of a pre-Solo world. Mm-hmm. So it still makes sense to have a younger Solo, just like how we have a younger Obi-Wan played by a different actor. But if they start doing stuff like, okay, now Ewan McGregor is playing Obi-Wan after Episode 4 events, now it's weird. Right?
I feel like that's going to happen, but yeah, I know what you mean.
See, I hope it doesn't happen, but, that's where it gets kind of strange. So I feel like, they got to stick with Mark Hamill. They got to, and I feel like that's why Andor Season 2 is just so strange in my mind for them recasting Bale, because you see Bale as the old actor again in Rogue One. So you go from the prequels to Andor Season 1.
Has anyone checked Disney Plus? Maybe they face replaced him.
Yeah, somebody's already done on YouTube, and it's so bad.
I think we talked about this.
They've just whipped it up in an AI.
It's because they just did it fast so that they could get the clicks.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Anyway, all right. Darian, thanks for dropping in. As always, good hanging out with you. And we'll catch you in the next one, sir.
This is the way.
And Blake, thank you for your time and dedication, as always, as our co-host here on the show. We will catch you in the next one.
We'll see you out there. Keep flying.
All right, a huge thank you to our audience. We are approaching 400 episodes of Star Wars Escape Pod. Huge milestone for the show. So go and follow us on the socials using our handle at SW Escape Podcast. On Blue Sky, we have StarWarsPodcast.ca. You can also use that in your web browser to check out our website, www.StarWarsPodcast.ca. And go and check out our AI experimental podcast called Star Wars Launchpad, which we recently also did a drop for that after about 2 months of no episodes, all about SDCC 2025. Send us an email, swescapepodcast@gmail.com. All the links are in the description below. And we will see you in the next episode of Star Wars Escape Pod. May the Force be with you.